So today we'll be learning how to make two different hairbands. The first one is the scrunchy hairband. Okay, I've gone ahead to cut out the pieces I need for this. Okay, so to know the accurate piece you need to take a measurement of your head, your round head, so that you know. But for me, I'm using, for the big piece, I have a width of 10 inch and then length of 44. Then this one is my elastic casing. My elastic casing, the width is 4 inches and the length is 18 inches. Okay. Then this big piece I will use to pass through the other big one. The width is 2 and the length is 15. Like I said, you should know, like for me, my round head is 22 inches. Okay. So that's why I'm using 15 to pass through. Okay. Then the other remaining one will be for my elastic. Okay. So I'm just going to fold this up into 4. Okay. Because I don't want the edges to be straight. You can decide to leave yours like that. Okay. But for me, I don't want it to be straight. Just want to give it a bit of curve at the edge. Okay. Whatever works for you. So I'm going to take a width of 3.5 inch. Okay. You can decide to use 3. Then a length of 7 inches. Okay, so I'll be cutting that out. I'm just going to make a mark from there to there, so I'll know what point I'm cutting to. Okay, so if you take your measurement, the measurement of your round head, okay, the piece you'll be passing through, the big piece, should be like the one with a longer length. Like for me, I'm using 15. Like I said earlier, I have 22 inches for my round head. So that means my elastic will be about 5 inches to make that 22. Okay. Okay. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. So sorry, my elastic will be about 7 inches in order for that to be 22. Okay. So this is my elastic casing. I'll go over and stitch it down like I did for the other part. Okay. I've done that stitch. I've stitched it down. The next thing is to pass my elastic through it. I have to pass my elastic through the casing. Okay, so I'm cutting out an elastic of 7 inches, like I said. Okay, so it's to complete my 15 and make it 22. So after taking your measurements, you know what to use. Okay, so I'll be using 7 inches to pass through my elastic casing. Okay. So I'm going to cut out that part, 7 inches. Okay, and the width of the elastic I'm using is 1 inch. I'm using a 1 inch elastic. I decided to use a bigger elastic, okay, or smaller one, whatever you have or whatever works for you. So I'm just going to pin this down because I don't want it to be moving about. Okay. Make sure you also pin that down so you won't be doing this over and over again. Okay, you can see we're already having our ruffles coming out for the elastic. So this is what it's going to look like after doing that. So you just go over to the machine, stitch it down. You have to stitch it down on both ends. Okay, so I've done that. This is what it looks like after stitching it down. Okay, the next thing is to take a big piece and pass a small piece in it. Okay, like I said, you need to take your head measurements so that you get accurate measurements. You don't want your hairband to be too tight or too loose on your head. All right, and if you're wearing this with a wig, you want to make this a little bit tighter so it can stay on it. Right, so maybe reduce the length by 1 inch so that it will be tight on your head. So just going to pass this through. Okay, we're already having our scrunchie effect. Okay, this is a very beautiful hairpiece. You can make this with any type of fabric, with an ankara fabric, whatever works for you. Okay, the material I'm using for this is a doll face. Okay, I'm just using a doll face to do this. So we're just going to stitch it down on both ends. Okay, stitch it down, have it looking like this, all nice and pretty. So the next is to attach our elastic casing to the scrunch we made. Okay, for this part, ensure you're placing both of them, because you're going to sew down. Ensure you're placing both of them on the same edge now, so that after sewing down you don't have one in front and then have one behind. Okay, this is what I mean. Okay, I'm going to pin this down and then show you. So we're going to fold this up, place it in between the big upper one, and then fold it up, pin it down. Okay, so this is what I mean. Yeah, you see how it looks. Okay, so that the sewed part of the inside. So we have it like this. Okay, so beautiful. So the next one we're doing is a turban hairpiece. Okay, the turban hairpiece. I'll be using this black crepe fabric for that. Okay, so I'm still using the same measurement, 22 inches for my round head. I'll go over to fold this out. Okay, like I said, you can use any type of fabric that works for you, and ankara piece will make it look lovely. So I'm going to be using a width of 6 inches. You can decide to use a bigger width, okay, depending on what you want. Then I'll be using a length of 16 inches. Remember I said my round head is 22, so it means the other 6 that will be left will be used for my elastic. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out. Just going to cut this out. Okay, so this is 6 by 16. Okay, so you're going to have 2 pieces of this. Right, the next thing is to divide this into 2, so we have 2 pieces of it. Okay, right. So the next thing to do is to go over to the machine, fold it, and make sure you're folding at the wrong part of the material, and then stitch it down. This is what it looks like after stitching it down. Right? It looks like this after we stitch it down. The next thing is to cross our piece together. Have to give it that turban effect in front, the tie effect. So we have to cross it together. Okay, you notice I'm crossing the parts with the joining at the bottom. Okay, because don't want any of that to be showing in front. We're just going to stitch it down and do the same to the other end. Stitch it down. Okay, so the next thing is to cut out our elastic casing. Okay, like I said, I have 6 inches left for that. Okay, I'm not going to cut out 6 inches exactly. I'll be adding extra 6 to that. I'll have 12 inch, and then half an inch that I'll be using for stitching it down. Okay, so I'm going to mark it there. Okay, half an inch. That's I'm marking out on 12 and a half inch, and then my elastic casing will be a width of 3 inches. So I'm going to mark it down. You can decide to use a smaller width, whatever works for you. Okay, but you want something that your elastic can pass through easily, so you'll not be struggling and to not be too small on your head. So I'm going to cut this out. Please, if you're new to the channel, do like and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. So just going to fold this over to the side, stitch it down. Okay, so this is what it looks like after stitching the bigger piece. Okay, looks like this. So the next is to pass our elastic through our elastic casing. Like I said earlier, I'm still using the same elastic width of 1 inch. Okay, so I have 6 inch left, but because I don't want this to be too tight on my head, I'll be adding an extra 1 inch to that, so it's not be too tight, and so that if I'm wearing a wig, it will not be too tight on my head. So I'm going to pass this through it. Okay, so like I was saying, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Okay, I promise to post a video a week. Okay, I'll keep you updated every week on this channel, so do well to subscribe. Right? Okay, thank you. So I'm going to pin this down at the other edge. Like I said, you don't want to be doing this over and over again, right? So just going to adjust it and then pin it down at this edge. Okay, okay, continue pressing the elastic through it. Okay, you have to stitch it down at that end. This is what it looks like after stitching it down. Okay, we're almost through with this. So we'll do the same thing like we did for the other one. Place it in between the bigger piece, fold it up, pin it down. Like I said, ensure you're doing the stitching on the same part, so you don't have one in front and one behind. Okay, so do the same thing here. We're just going to sew it, stitch it down both sides. There we have it, looking all nice and pretty. Okay, and just adjust our band, adjust, make a little bit of adjustments. Okay, so we have our band. This is our turban hair piece. We have that tie effect already in front. It's looking like this. You can wear this over your wigs. Okay, thank you for watching.